Welcome to Wash.
The whitest things.
I fuck with the show. I think it's like, you know, when you really think about the whitest shit you ever done.
I didn't prepare for this question at all. I didn't have any thoughts to this question.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Washed. I'm your host, Orlando, and we have Los, the Yatchz General, with us today. How's it going, Los?
You know, Orlando, it's going pretty goddamn good. I can't lie. Been smiling since 7 a.m. Been smiling since 10 a.m. And now it's damn near 6:05.
Still
My
smiling.
grin has not slowed down.
Let's do it, man. I appreciate that. And I'm well aware it's your day off, which is a great thing.
Come on now.
You can never be mad at a day off.
I said a day off is lovely, but honestly, we never take days off.
There you go.
We can't. We just can't.
There you go. The hustle never stops.
Never.
All right, Los. How would you say you identify yourself as?
If I was to identify myself, I would start off by saying, I'm black, but I just like saying black because then you have to say black or white, and I hate putting just tones into categories.
Yep.
I'd say I'm an African-American male. I straight up say I'm African mixed with a lot of different things type of male.
Yep.
But if I was to identify myself in Seattle, let alone the States, I personally would say I'm a strong human being. If anything,
I appreciate that.
Outside of just your skin tone and your complexion, I'd say that I'm someone that appreciates his family, someone that doesn't take anything for granted.
Yep.
Someone that realizes that you only get one, so you might as well make the best of it.
That's why we don't have days off.
No days off. And so if I was to fully let's just say categorize. How do you say it?
Categorize. There it is.
That's it. If I was to categorize myself, I say I'm a head honcho.
Okay.
Honestly.
I fuck with that, man. I fuck with that. So where'd you grow up, Los? You're from Seattle, right?
Yes.
South End, Seattle?
Yeah.
South End represent. We're in Beacon Hill right now. I know it's not that south, but you know what I mean? I've only been here for a limited time, but still, I know the weight that carries, so I got to say it.
Oh, completely. I mean, you have your South End, you got your city, you got your big, you got the West, and it's interesting just because of how close it is to one another.
Yeah, but it's different.
Like it's different, and there's a border, there's just one street of separation.
Yeah.
Between one another, but for the most part, from the South End, grew up over on 46th in Tennessee's finest.
We're gonna jump into this, Los. Question on everyone's mind.
God damn it!
What's the whitest thing you've ever done?
Shit. Is it all right if I give it a quick little breakdown?
Yeah.
All
do your thing. Listen, you gotta explain it the way you gotta explain it. Don't be apologetic. We're not hurting anyone's feelings. We're just telling our own stories, and that's cool. Whatever account that takes you, you do you.
All right. So if I was to go into it, I got to give a quick little breakdown. From the South End, moved to the North End at about 12 years old. Went to this school called Hamilton, and then stayed in the North End. I thought we might shake after that, but we didn't. And then I ended up going to Ballard. Ballard's a pretty white school if you didn't know.
It's a pretty white area in Seattle too.
All the way around. Ballard's a pretty white area. But going to Ballard, my freshman year, I might have been the 19th black kid in the school.
Word?
I could count all of the black people not on my hands, but I could count all of them.
On your indexes. Yeah. If you were the 19th.
Like everything.
Yeah.
I could count all the black kids. That's first off.
Yeah.
I could count from freshman, sophomore, junior, and
That's
senior
crazy.
year. I mean, so if that can give you an idea, and there's about 1,400 students.
That's pretty crazy because even in Vancouver, I feel like there was more than that. There had to have been more than that. And you knew people from other schools around too. So to be in the city in Seattle and that's still your count, that's pretty crazy to me.
I mean, you could count it all, and it was just so interesting because this is where my experiences with what's the most whitest thing you've ever done, because I would have never had any of the experiences unless I went to this fucking school.
For sure.
Unless I moved over to this area. So this one time...
It always is a good story.
So I snitched on somebody. That was the whitest. I was like, I'm playing.
Oh, I was about to say, I was like, damn, I did not expect that to come from you. I was like, this is the best one I've had so far. That was pretty good.
I would never snitch on nobody. If I ever did, you better call me white.
Oh, man, that was...
But I went to Freaknight. let's go to Freaknight. If you don't know what Freaknight is, got the big rave going on. And if there's one thing black people don't do, they don't do raves.
They don't do raves. That is true.
Yeah.
If anything, there is a ton of Asians there.
A ton. I mean, you know.
But like, besides that, it is heavily Caucasian.
I mean, it's called a rave.
Yeah.
When it comes to like black people, it's called a barbecue. It's called party. It's called a where you at? Let's get it going.
A function.
But
it's never called a rave.
Never called a rave. And after going to that rave, I first thought to myself, whoa, why don't more people do this? And
I've heard they get pretty hot.
I talked to my white homie.
Yeah.
And he was like, Los, because black people don't do this.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I looked at myself like in an invisible mirror.
Yeah.
And I was like, Los, what are you doing? I said, Nick, I'm having fun.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you something going to this then.
That's not even the belly of the beast yet.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I like where this is headed. After you looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you know what, I'm having a great time. Mm-hmm. I want to know something. What's the whitest thing you're grateful for? Besides raves, it's like, thank you for doing this.
So I'll say the whitest thing I'm grateful for, and this is honesty right here. I didn't prepare for this question at all. I didn't have any thoughts to this question, but in all honesty. So growing up in a complete black neighborhood, well, there's minorities all around, but so there's like one way of thinking. When I moved over to this north end with all these white people, it actually gave me a different sighting. So I had a small bubble of what I thought I could do. And once I moved over here, I realized that there's so much more out in the world for you to do. Because sometimes like in black communities, like you just like feel like this small bubble. It's like, hey, gotta get it going this way, gotta do this route, gotta go this route. But you go ahead and let's say you just talk to a white person, they're just like, well, you know what? I see so many different things that I can do. Yeah. If you grow up as a black kid, black person, I mean, I'm not talking for everybody, but for sure. In a community in my experience personally, I'm just gonna talk from my experience. Exactly. No one else. You don't see too far outside the box. Me meeting a lot of these white kids helped me see so far outside the box that I had no idea about. To the point where I didn't just think about just like somehow making money. And you see that I say somehow making money. I didn't see somehow about personal growth. I didn't see somehow about growing. I didn't see somehow about getting my mom out of this position. I didn't see somehow about getting my family out of that position. It was more so just, hey, Los, you can do a lot of things. There's more out there. Like the window is wide open. There's more out there. And I'm going to show you what's open. And so that's one thing like I appreciate my white friends for. And it's my white friends. It's not anybody else outside of there. And mind you, I got a lot of white homies and they're my boys. If I seen them down, I'd plug. If they seen me down, they'd plug. They got my back no matter what. It's the fact that they opened up my vision far more than anyone else has.
To me, what it sounds like is like the reason why my parents moved up here from Mexico. The reason why we're even here, because there's this weird thing that happens here where there's this like, it's like there's this weird sense of like possibility. That's the word I'm looking for. There's this like crazy sense of possibility here that maybe it is presented by the way some white people think, because I don't think they all think like that. Granted, there's those closed-minded people that are in our government, which I don't really want to touch on right now.
No need.
I think there is that possibility that they see and the sense of travel that they do and like all these little things where, I mean, even Jay-Z talked about it. Having that old money is not a concept that we as colored people have the privilege of having. To say it in a sense of like, of that, it's like as a privilege. So I think they have that sensibility of like, okay, I can do all of this. And I'm glad you were put in a situation like that. That sounds pretty dope to me.
I'm happy about it. I mean,
that's a great thing to be grateful for.
Oh, I'm extremely grateful for it. And I don't ever, like this, I kid you not, you might be the first person that has asked me that question. Good. And you might be the first person I've ever told that to. I know that myself, and I've said that same thing to myself multiple different times just because. I mean, it's important to say. So real. You are beyond much more appreciated for it. I mean, you don't look at life the same. You don't look at a struggle the same. I mean, you understand your struggle. You will always digest your struggle, but you will never look at an outside struggle the same.
If there's any way we can be grateful for it or express the way we feel about it, that's even better. And that's like to get us back on a little lighthearted here. So far, you've loaded us with some pretty white shit, man.
Yeah.
You got anything deeper? Like I know off air you told me that you got something deep.
Okay.
Let's really get into it. How deep can we go here? How much shovel can we dirt out of this whiteness?
Not just the dirt. We're gonna pick up the snow too.
Okay.
Because randomly it just snowed, and when I went not river rafting. Excuse me. Sorry, my people. I went floating in Levenworth.
First of all, you could have just said going to Levenworth. I know there's a lot of people that go, and for those who aren't from the Northwest and from Seattle, really, because I didn't know what Leavenworth was until I came up here. What do you want to just give us? Just give us like the quickest rundown
Leavenworth,
you can.
really, real quick. I mean, it's not too far away from Seattle. Maybe about like 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
Really white, very white.
Is it? What is it based? It's based off of a what's that? I don't remember what it is. It's like
I don't know, but basically
like Scandinavian.
The Scandinavian peeps, that's basically their HQ. So when they have like the Scandinavian holidays, even during the holidays, that's where all the white people go and they dress up and they do whatnot and like start kicking sideways to sideways and they have a great time. Hey, so that's the location. If I could put a picture in your head.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys to use your Googles and look up Leavenworth because it's like a themed place.
It's a themed place.
It looks kind of cool and it's kind of cool to go there, but it is pretty white.
It's between that and then my Sasquatch trip. Both trips, which I did.
I mean, you've already gotten this far. You're gonna have to tell us.
I did acid. All right, so plain and simple, you won't come across another black person that has ever done acid unless they're cool, unless they are open, unless they got as many white homies as I got.
Do, he says, yeah.
Oh my goodness, Leavenworth. All right, so damn, fuck. All right, that's where we're gonna stick it at. I thought you were gonna go back to maybe Sasquatch. Damn. All right, so I'm gonna just go to Leavenworth then, because this actually this is just a quick little like 5-minute story.
Yep.
So we go to Leavenworth.
I'm ready.
I got invited by a friend, aka Anonymous, another fellow person.
Person of color or
person of color.
Okay.
Person of color. And so I said, you know what, why not? You know, I trust you. I trust you. I don't trust everybody else there. I trust you. And mind you, the other people there, I knew maybe about 8 out of the 30 people there. So it was a good time, you know, having a great time. And that's a lot of people. Yeah. And we got a campground set up and everything. And we go get in the bus and we go to the top of the river. We got inner tubes and everything. I thought we were going to have like maybe lockers. So I brought my Timbos with me. We go ahead and get our floaties. And so instead of basically having lockers, and I asked the bus driver, I was like, wait, can we just like put our stuff in the bus? He was like, no, sorry, you can't do that. You got to take it with you. I'm not the one
picking you up.
So I straight up wore my Timbos in the water. I kept them on my feet, and basically I'm a commercial because when I pulled these motherfuckers out the water, they were golden. But throughout this trip, I mean, the river rafting was lovely, and then we pulled over to not the river rafting, the floating.
The floating, yeah.
It was lovely. We pulled over to the side.
Hold on. I'm gonna stop you real quick.
Okay.
What floaties were you using? Were you using the black wheel inner tubes, or were you using like?
We were using the black inner tubes.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And we pulled over to the side, and everybody, and mind you, it's 1, 2, 3 black people.
Yep.
Out of about 25, and we pulled over to the side, and basically the party leader, they're like, all right, so we're gonna get right here, and we're gonna say what animal we are. You know me, I'm looking at all of these niggas like, what the fuck are you talking?
What animal am I?
Everybody's going around, I'm a this animal, caw, caw, caw. I'm a this animal, blah, blah, blah. I'm a this animal, rawr.
Yo, they were making the noises and everything?
Making noises and all, bro.
As grown adults, they were making the noises.
Grown-ass adults, because, I mean, this, I guess it's what white people do.
You know, they have
marvelous experiences with one another. And so, as they get to me, it's like, Carlos, what are you? And I was like, Panther. And they're like, what noise do you make? I said,
he said he just straight up rolled his tongue.
And so for that whole, like, the rest of the trip, I mean, everybody was like, Carlos. And I was like, perfect. Like, you know, I don't want to be this goddamn idiot on some other shit. So this is where shit gets real. So we get back. This is the final day. We're all having a great time. We're drunk as can be. We're having a marvelous time. And this lady, I'm going to just call her K KJ. I'm just gonna call her KJ.
KJ. Shout out KJ.
Shout out KJ. Plugged me for this story, asshole. So she looked at me and she said, Carlos, take this. And she just like held out like something. And mind you, I'm juiced. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care at all. And I just, just got to open up my mouth, took it, and it was like a square piece of paper. Yeah. And I couldn't really like just, decipher what it was. I was just juiced, about to just do it. Why not? Took it. And as it hit my tongue, I kind of like shook my head and I grabbed it extremely fast. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know what this is. And I threw it away. And I asked my homie right next to me and he goes, you just did some acid. And I went into a fucking freak maze. Yeah. I straight up panic mode. Dang, but then I calmed back down. And this is where things kind of like got a little interesting because my guy Brandon, one of the 4 black people that was around me, he's about 6'3", big ass dude with dreads. I felt safe, I felt safe. I was like, well, if anything's going to go down, me and B, we're going to go down in it together. But mind you, we know a solid amount of the people. So as things just like started to like escalate, out of nowhere, he disappears. Out of nowhere, my person of color that invited me to this disappears, and I start hearing racial slurs going on from all these other white people to the side. So now I'm just like, all right, I might have to beat somebody's ass, but at the same time, it's like 30-1. The odds ain't good. The odds ain't good. You wouldn't put your money on the bet. No. If you were somebody, you wouldn't put your money on the bet at all. I walk over to one of the white people I know, and he's like, Lo, stop tripping, man. You're tripping. And mind you, I am actually tripping. Fuck out. And like, he's trying to calm me down. I walk over to another fellow white guy, and he goes, Los, puts his hand on the shoulder, puts his hand on my shoulder and goes, you gotta stop. And right then and there, when he said that, I personally thought that the person that invited me out to this invited me to a white supremacy rally. Oh my God. And I literally thought that I was the sacrifice.
They're like, yo, we just gonna leave him behind. We're gonna give him this tab and just leave him behind.
I got my one person that disappeared, my other person that disappeared, and now I'm on the solo with some people that I do know, and they're just like, Los, just calm down. It's gonna be easy. And I fucking went into like a straight like in self panic mode, but tried to be composed. And the last black person there, we had a good time during this whole trip. He had his head slumped over in a goddamn like fold out chair. And I tapped him. I was like, bro, what's going on? And he looks up, the slowest head movement I've ever seen in my life. And he looks up at me and he just shakes his head. No. And I seen that. Looked up and seen like 15 white people, and I just
like
broke.
Real life Get Out.
And mind you, this is like in the middle of fucks nowhere. It's dark as fuck. I broke, ran full speed behind this truck, and I paused right there. Mind you, I've never told this story. I grabbed my phone, and I pulled it out, and I went into like record, and I was just like, everybody, I love you. This is Los.
He was saying his signing off.
And I hung up my phone and I put it in my pocket. And then I literally came to realization right there. And I was like, Los, you're tripping the fuck out.
Yeah, what are you doing?
And I stood up, went back to the crowd, and it was like, hey, Los, you all right? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine.
I'm coming down.
That story comes along with going to that trip. The trip was like one of the whitest things I've done. But that story in itself was just... I just had to let it out, you know.
That's hilarious.
I don't tell it too often. Oh, man. Just a few people know that.
I'm glad we went there and not Sasquatch.
Yeah, Sasquatch, a different story.
Listen, we won't get into it this time.
No need.
I might have to have you back though, cause
I'd appreciate being back. You know.
Yeah, we got some good stuff, man. I appreciate you for coming through. Thank you for coming through.
Easily.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, man.
Last but not least, Los. Is there anything you got going on? Anything you want to plug? Y'all know the link will be in the description of whatever he's got going on. He's an incredible man. So
thank you, man. I appreciate
whatever you got.
That. First off, appreciate you having me on the show.
Of course.
Honestly, it's an honor. From a man with you're such caliber. You kill the game.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Every day in and every day out.
No days off, man.
No days off. There's no need for days off. I mean, we can sleep when we're dead.
I mean, I'll take my sleep.
I will too. You know, I ain't gonna lie.
But I'm not gonna take a day off.
I'm gonna sleep on Wednesdays. But,
there you go.
But I will say, find me at you got Yatchz General on Twitter, Yatchz General on Instagram. Catch me on my visuals by Los. I'm a shooter, a videographer. I don't take it lightly. I'm not one that you just reach out to just for a video. You reach out to me if you want a creative sighting, basically. But yeah, catchphrase. Next time I might see you. Who knows? But hopefully I can return on the show soon enough.
There you go. We're gonna leave him with that.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WashPod. Email us at whatswash@gmail.com. This episode of Watch was recorded and produced by Studio 833.
I can't believe what the fuck just happened right now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This is Carlos. I'm signing off. I'm sorry.